So I ended up overpaying for this one on eBay, I don't know, about a week or so ago. I've had this one for a little while. The new Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Parfum. Super excited to try this one out. I was looking forward to it ever since it was first launched, and I think we're kind of overdue. The last one was L'Homme Ideal Extreme. Been riding that one out for a while, been very popular. It's a great release, but now I'm excited to try yet another offering from this line. They really haven't had too many misses. I mean, there's L'Homme Ideal Sport that was kind of, you know, not the best, but other than that, it's essentially just been re-releasing the summer editions a few times. So yeah, we've had L'Homme Ideal Cologne, then Cool, then Platine Privé recently, which is just one of those summer editions re-released essentially. So this one hopefully should be something a bit different this time, which is exciting. So I believe this one is going for 175 USD at retail, which is pricey, but kind of par for the course. This one ended up popping up on Fragrance Buy for around, I think it was like $124. I sent out an email and a text, and no surprise, that one sold through pretty quickly. If you want to be notified when this one pops back up again below retail, you can jump on those lists down below. Here's our bottle. It's kind of the new style, so essentially sticking with a clear bottle, not really doing too much with the bottle itself, but then the label on the front is, again, new style. They're pretty minimalistic. I really like the older bottles, like the older L'Homme Ideal Extreme and the older L'Homme Ideal L'Intense, just adding a bit more character to those bottles, but they're kind of keeping it a bit more simple with these, which I guess isn't a bad thing either. Get this one on and we'll see what we've got. So right off the open, it's definitely smelling a lot like the Eau de Parfum, but with an added extra layer of sweetness. Now there's a bit of a variance because it's like the original EDT, EDP, not getting a ton of the cherry like you do in the Eau de Parfum, but you're getting a lot of that almond and kind of that dusty, woody nature that is apparent within the lineup. It just has this unmistakable classy edge to it that I don't find in too many other men's designer releases that are, you know, being released within the past 5-10 years. A lot of things are shifting in a different direction, going sweet, but either a bubblegummy sweet or a tonka bean sweet or something like that, where they are just a bit more playful, a bit more carefree, a bit more casual smelling. But these Guerlain L'Homme fragrances, since inception, have kind of cultivated this very unique style, just with this type of almond, dusty, woody accord. It's just different, and it's not something that is all that common. And so the same thing is apparent here. A nice, rich, heavy, kind of silky almond, slightly patchouli accord going on here. Again, not the same type of cherry. You're not getting the plum, the tobacco in the extreme, but it's definitely staying true to the L'Homme Ideal smell, which I really like. So we'll take a look at these notes here. We have amaretto, leather, musk, and patchouli. That's just all they have. Now that's Fragrantica. Let me double check with the official website because sometimes there are some discrepancies and I don't know if maybe they have a more complete note breakdown on here. So let's get there. So that's really all I'm seeing. They're not giving a standard note breakdown. They're just kind of going in and describing it. They're really leaning in on the fact that this is a gourmand take on the DNA. So let's see. It's so you're getting the bitter almond. You're getting the amaretto here, leather, patchouli, musk, all that stuff. So essentially what they have on Fragrantica is kind of what they're describing here in the official, you know, description on the website. So that's kind of where we're at. Definitely has kind of a boozy, sensual, extra layer of sexiness to it. You know, this is something that you didn't really get in any of the others, a boozy note. You know, like I said, in Extreme, you're getting that plum tobacco, which is a really nice combination, a unique combination of different styles of sweetness. Like you're getting a sweet fruitiness, but then kind of a sweeter pipe tobacco. And then, of course, the almond and everything that follows with this line. So kind of a unique style there. Now we're getting a little taste of a boozy kind of nighttime feel that any of the others didn't have. And I'm a big fan of fragrances like this. You know, adding a little bit of a whiskey or a brandy or an amaretto note or something like that. I think it really can add a lot of character, especially when you already have a scent DNA that is pretty complex on its own. And maybe complex isn't the right word, because to describe the original, the eau de parfum, they're pretty standard. It's the almond that's really driving the train here, but it definitely is something that makes these stand out. And that almond, that bitter almond, that dusty kind of powdery almond, it's still here. It still smells amazing. And like I had mentioned before, patchouli, definitely a pretty big player here, and just giving it a little bit more of that masculine edge and a little bit more of that kind of woody and sweetness that you would expect from a patchouli note. It's kind of a darker, richer patchouli, not like a fresher, greener one. So again, this is coming in at a Parfum concentration. So again, we've had quite a few releases at this point. This is the first true Parfum. So that's nice, that's exciting. I never have had too much of an issue with performance with these. Now, they kind of perform how you would generally expect them to be. So like the eau de toilette is about how you would expect an eau de toilette to perform for the most part. You go over to the summer edition ones, and same thing. They don't necessarily perform completely beast mode, but they do the job okay. The eau de parfum, the l'intense, the extreme, those ramp it up and they do really well, especially for the price point. I can't complain too much. So we'll have to see how this one does, but I would imagine that's probably going to do well. I would say it's going to be a pretty fair performer, probably going to be pretty close to the skin like it is right now, but I think it will have good longevity. Let's hope so. I could see this being one of their more bold releases, believe it or not. You know, you might think Extreme, the plum tobacco kind of unique combo, is something that is really pushing the boundaries, but that one has an exceptional level of wearability to it, more so than you would think, and it might scare some people off looking at the notes, listening to reviews, but it is a very versatile scent for cooler weather. I think this one is taking it up a notch, just like l'intense with that smokiness and like the chili pepper note, very spicy. This one's kind of leaning more towards that direction of just having a bit more of a, you know, an impact to it, a bit more of a perhaps challenging nature. I think this one is really stepping it up, and if you want something that might be a little bit more daring but will still pay off, this would be one to look into. I like this one a lot, and I think this is something that's going to be very heavy in my rotation as we work into fall and winter, which is still a ways away. Thank God. We're not even into summer yet. I love the warmer months. So this is kind of out of season for me, a lot of you guys right now, but by the time we get into weather where this is going to be appropriate, it's going to be pretty stable on discounters. You probably won't have too much of a problem picking this one up. If you want to be the first to be notified anytime new releases hit discounters, or anytime rare, discontinued, hard to find fragrances hit discounters, jump on my mailing list and texting list at the link down below. We've had Armani Code Ultimate, Azzaro Pour Homme Intense, 1 Million Lucky coming in below retail, Acqua di Gio Absolute, Le Male Elixir, Paradise Garden, all of the other new releases hitting discounters fast and well below retail, which retail prices are just sky high now. So that's going to be the place to be if you want to save the most amount of money and get some of the best deals and the most rare fragrances. You can sign up down below. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.